In shape, 145.
Yeah.
In shape. You know what I mean? So this is different from a Crawford coming up to 168, but we know his walk around weight is probably 170, 180.
Only shortcomings, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility.
Terence Crawford reportedly visited Gervonta Davis ahead of his upcoming fight with Jake Paul, offering him valuable training tips and strategic advice. The two champions were said to have shared techniques and discussed fight approaches, showing deep mutual respect. Crawford reportedly expressed his full support for Gervonta, praising his exceptional talent and work ethic. He even mentioned that if Davis ever wanted to face him in the ring, he would gladly entertain the idea, not out of rivalry, but out of respect for boxing itself. Gervonta Davis speaking about you, is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah. If he wanted dare to be great, he'd be like all the other fighters that's moving up two-weight classes and, daring to be great. You would fight him. Man, tell him come up there. He got to come to win 54 because he said I got a glass chin. So tell him to come and touch it. Wow. Oh, man. Said you got a glass. He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it at 147. At 147. I make 147 for him. See? Oh, man.
You gonna have a pre-cap. Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys. I don't know. Gervonta Davis seems to be drawing from the playbook of Terence Crawford, one of the most technically advanced fighters in boxing. Crawford's preparation for Canelo Alvarez caught attention for his constant stance switches, balance control, and unpredictable rhythm. Now Tank appears to be following the same pattern. His new training clips show him experimenting with footwork, changing angles, and even switching stances in mid-combination, something rarely seen from him before. Observers believe he's not just learning from Crawford, but also looking toward Jiren Boots Ennis, who mastered fighting comfortably from both stances. This transformation signals Tank's plan to surprise everyone in the upcoming fight against Jake Paul. Right, this is scary. Gervonta Tank Davis is working on his versatility. We already know he has that ultimate equalizer, that special God-gifted one-punch knockout power, but he also can box. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's very durable, has a chin, never seen him visibly hurt. Gervonta Tank Davis also has great footwork, and foot placement. And here you see Gervonta Tank Davis' only shortcomings, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm each, but as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox. Great switch hitters, no ditty in the sport of boxing. Showbiz the Adult, a well-known boxing commentator, stated that the fight between Tank and Jake must stay interesting. He explained that many people expect it to look like a sparring session, with both fighters going easy on each other to avoid embarrassment. However, if that happens, it would instantly destroy both of their careers. Fans would lose interest and never pay to watch them again. With both Tank and Jake having massive audiences that demand excitement, this fight cannot be a cautious display. It has to bring real intensity, because if it turns dull, the hype surrounding it will vanish completely. Career ending. It could be career ending. Jake Paul can end his whole, that's the Black Tank, can end Jake Paul's whole. And if that fight is me and it's just a sparring session as Tiff Attack, their shit's over, because people going to be pissed that it's exactly what they expected it to be. They can't do that. If they do, their career's ruined. Jake Paul career's ruined and Tank. If they make it mad and just touch both, that their brands suck. Music, that's the Black 2 Sugars. You mess around and that bell ring and you see Little Tank and you see Big Jake and he's throwing a jab and Little Tank making a missing. Bam! And y'all gonna be like, woo, say I'm lying. Y'all, you know what? Yes, say I'm lying. Please say I'm lying. But y'all gonna be right there cheering because you ain't never seen nothing that damn bizarre. Even De La Hoya versus Shaq had headgear, and Shaq ain't a boxer. That right there, fireworks, because you gonna be holding your breath. Especially Tank fans. I'ma be like, don't hit Tank. You gonna see Tank little ass legs. He and big ass Jake big legs and big ass head. Watch y'all talk all that now, cause y'all love talking. Y'all love hating on things until you see it. Like women back in the 90s. I remember my sisters back in the 90s. You ain't that cute. But all on your. That's what y'all do. Y'all talk, but y'all the first ones there.
Keith Thurman pointed out a clear reality about Gervonta Davis and his critics. He explained that the same people who constantly criticize Tank are also the ones who never miss his fights. They claim his performances aren't good enough, yet they keep watching every event he's in. Thurman believes this kind of behavior shows how fans unknowingly support him while trying to bring him down. Their attention, even when negative, only makes Tank's name bigger in the boxing world. Every time they call his fights disappointing, they end up giving him more spotlight and keeping his popularity alive. If you're really not happy with Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune into the Tank and Paulie Paul show there. Because that's all for entertainment. What's it say? For entertainment purposes only, right? It should say, like somewhere in the small print of the promotion, for entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. It's fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer, for entertainment purposes only, So, it's money-making purposes only, It is what it is, people. When Clarissa Shields commented that the only fight that makes sense for Tank is against Shakur Stevenson, it didn't sit well with him. Tank responded coldly, saying, "No one has the right to tell him what to do." His message was clear. If people want to be fans, they should just be fans, not managers. The reaction comes from a deeper place. After his draw against Lamont Roach, many of his own fans turned against him online, calling him overrated. That criticism clearly stung him, and now he's done playing by anyone else's expectations. His mindset is simple. He fights on his own terms, not for approval. And it says that, pretty much the only people that can beat him is Shakur Stevenson. And I don't know who else he said. He said she thought that at a point in time that Devin Haney could beat him, but now she doesn't believe that. But so really the only fight that there is for Gervonta Davis is Shakur. What a mighty, mighty convenient argument. And Gervonta Davis responded, and basically his response was, "Come on, girl, stop talking about me so much because you're making me feel like I'm special," right? So he pretty much just, kind of blows it off. But I really think that there's something much deeper going on here, and it is that this, and I said it again, I said it in another video, I'll say it in this one, the Bud Buddies. The Bud Buddies are a crew of boxers that all hang around and worship Terence Bud Crawford. And the main two members of it, besides the people in Javon in that are actually in Terence Crawford's camp as fighters, are Shakur Stevenson and Clarissa Shields. Without a doubt, Clarissa Shields is a huge backer of Terence and a huge backer of Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, the only thing she really cares about is what's in the best interest of Shakur Stevenson. And anything and everything she say is angled that way to get Gervonta Davis to do something that Shakur Stevenson wants him to do, which is really do all the hard work and then be there for Shakur Stevenson to become a star at the end of it. I'm telling you, man. I believe that to the bottom of my soul, that that is the same plan that Terence Crawford ran on Errol Spence Jr. The matchup between Tank and Jake Paul doesn't fit the structure of traditional boxing. As many boxing analysts have pointed out, fights like these don't represent real competition. They exist in a space between sport and show. The biggest reason this fight feels questionable is that both men are still in their primes. Exhibition matches usually make sense when fighters are past their peak, like Mayweather's recent shows. But in this case, both are active, capable, and still climbing their respective ladders. This makes the event even stranger. It blurs the line between a boxing contest and a viral entertainment stunt. Fights like this, with fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering, why has Tank taken this fight?